All right, I got my shed antler dummies with me. I've already scented them up and I'm about to go hide them because today we are going on an adventure. We're going to be doing shed hunt. We're going to be doing agility. We're going to be doing disc. We're going to do a little bit of obedience. And I'm also going to be talking about recall, off-leash recall. We're going to talk about why your dog might not be coming to you. And we're going to talk about how you can improve your recall. So let's get started. Y'all, I'm so excited. This is the second year in a row that Sniffspot has named me one of the top remote trainers as well as one of the top trainers in Connecticut. And if you don't know me, my name is Laura, and I'm a guide dog mobility instructor, service dog trainer, and trick trainer. And I recommend Sniffspot to a ton of my clients, but I've never actually been to a Sniffspot myself. So today we are going out on an adventure to see a couple Sniffspots that we're going to allow the dogs to go run, play, have fun. Sniffspot is basically like a ride-sharing app for your backyard. So basically, hosts will go ahead and rent out their backyard to someone who wants to come and play, train, or have a little adventure with their dog. So let's go ahead and get out. We're gonna go hide our sheds so that Jake can go find them. Okay, I'm out here pre-hiding some shed antlers before I get Jake out of the car. Shed hunting is something I taught Jake to do a while back on our hikes, and I thought it'd be fun to plant some sheds for him to find and retrieve for me while we're out here exploring. Jake is my almost 14-year-old rescue cattle dog mix who still has a ton of energy. I'm hiding 4 sheds, 2 white dummies, 1 brown dummy, and 1 real shed. I also really love the sniff spot because it's so hilly, and traversing these hills with small obstacles like sticks to walk over is really great for older dogs to keep their hind end strong. All right, let's see if Jake can find all 4. So as I enter the property, I'm going to take the leash off and then reward him for not immediately running away. This is something we've practiced. I don't want my leash coming off to be a cue for my dog to sprint away without being released. Jakey, you sit. Good job. Good boy. Awesome. Wait. Good. Yes. Good job, bud. Good job. Okay, free. So while Jake is running around, I want to talk about why being able to rent a yard through Sniffspot is helpful, even if you have your own yard. First, not everyone has a really nice yard to let their dog romp in, and nearly all dogs benefit from some time off leash to do dog stuff, to run, to play, or just sniff around in new environments. Also, renting a sniff spot can be really helpful if you're traveling. So if you're at a hotel and have your dog with you, but want to find a place for them to safely run, you can go ahead and find one nearby. What I'm excited about today is twofold. Now that Jake is nearly 14, he's not as trustworthy off-leash as he was when he was younger because he's losing his hearing and his vision. So renting out a sniff spot today allows him to experience a new place without any fear of him catching a scent and maybe turning off his listening ears. It can also allow you to train in new locations. I have a fenced-in backyard, but it's on the smaller side, and the dogs are used to working there. Bringing them to a new environment adds a new challenge to our training. With this particular sniff spot, I'm going to incorporate having fun, finding the sheds, as well as recalls. And at our next sniff spot, I'm going to show you an awesome agility field you can rent out to really get some fun training in with your dog. All right, what do you think? Will Jake be able to find all 4 of these sheds hidden across an acre of property while we're here? He's smelling something. Oh my goodness, did you find an antler, buddy? Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you, Butters. So now I'm gonna give him a nice big reward. Got some turkey, some liver, some real good stuff. What a good boy. All right, buddy, free. 1 down, 3 to go. Oh boy. I think you found another one. Oh my goodness. What a good dog you are, bud. That's the real antler and number 2. Oh, you're just gonna bring me back the ones you already got? He wants more snacks. Sorry, bud, you're gonna actually have to find those last 2 so that I don't have to. We're over here trying to find where he pooped, and he's coming here running over with some antlers. Oh, buddy, that's 3. There's only 1 more. You haven't found the hard one yet. The brown one. Brown on brown, that's hard. Free. Go have some fun, bud. Good boy. So let's talk a little bit about recalls. So The space like this where it's totally fenced in is a great place to practice your recall, but only after you've done some foundation work. So I put some videos down below to help you start training your recall. Oh my goodness, he's coming back with the last shed antler. What a good boy you are, bud. That was the last one. Oh my goodness, what a good boy. Awesome. All right, bud, free. All right, so back to recalls. So recalls, we want to practice them inside first, and then we want to practice them in our houses. We also want to practice them on a long line to start. So if I was coming to this space and my dog didn't have a great recall, I would have them on a long line so that I can make sure that when we call, the dog is going to come to us. Once we're past those points, we can use places like this to practice, because what I see with recalls is a couple things. First, people don't proof it against distraction. You have to practice it in so many locations, at least 10 new locations for your dog to understand, oh, this is the thing that I might do everywhere. And then the other thing that I see with recalls is that they're getting called and then something they don't like happens. For instance, you call them and then they stop getting to do something fun. This happens a lot in people's backyards, so you'll call them inside. And now they want to stay outside because outside is more fun. And so you call them and end their fun. And then coming to you means the fun ends, or it means they're getting a bath or whatever. Sorry, my husband said I wasn't looking to the camera, so I'm looking at the camera now. So my best tip for you is to make sure that when you call your dog, something fun happens. And spaces like this are perfect for practicing a call and release. So that's what we're going to practice today. Is I'm going to call the dog to me, reward him, and then release them back out into the environment, because releasing them into the environment functions as a huge reward. Lots of dogs love to run around and play, so when I call them, come to me, and then I release them back, I actually increase the likelihood of getting them to come to me. So Jake is off sniffing, doing his thing over there, so I'm gonna kind of hide myself behind a tree over here, and then I'm going to call him to me. When he gets to me, I'm gonna reward him, and then I'm gonna release him back into the environment, making the cameraman work hard, walking all these sticks and stuff. All right, Jake, come. Boop, 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 boop. He comes running. I touch. Yeah, good boy. And I always recall them to touch my hand so that I dropped one. Hey, go bud, you're such a good boy. What a fabulous boy you are. So that they come all the way in and I could grab their collar in an emergency. And I reward the heck out of him. I tell him he's fabulous. Sometimes I'll sing him a little song. And then I'll say, free. And I'll release him back into the environment. I'll walk away. Then I'll let him go play for a little while longer, and then I can call him back. So, Jake, come. He comes to me. Yes, awesome. Good boy. And I might practice that, 3 times during the session. I don't want to overdo it. And then free. Release him back into the environment, call him again later when he's, off doing something else. When you first start though, wait until they're kind of looking at you, then call them. We want to set them up for success. We are not trying to make them fail. This dog, lots of practice recalling. I know that if he can't see me, he's still gonna come. But with your, when you're first starting out, I might start on my long line. I might start from right here. Jake, come. Just a few feet away, yes. So that he can be successful. All right, what do you say we get Cool Whip? Let her have a little fun before we wrap it up here. Good girl. All right, I know. Come on, girl. After I brought Cool Whip in, I gave her a chance to sniff around, and then it was time for her to have a little recall practice. Whip, come. Good girl. Awesome. Oh my gosh, you're so fabulous. Oh my goodness. What a good girl you are. Good. Okay, free. After some successful recall practice, we did a little more shed hunt and toy play, had a last frolic in the woods together, and then headed out with 2 tired dogs so they could rest up for our next Sniffspot adventure. And hey, if you're liking this video so far, be sure to head down and boop that like button and subscribe to the channel. Jake, Cool Whip, and I would be so grateful. Our next Sniffspot adventure is going to actually be a meetup with Cool Whip and my friend Casey and her 2 dogs, where we're going to work on disc and agility. So let's head to that. All right, we're here and I'm super excited to check this place out. It's only like under 30 minutes from my house, so it's super close and I can already see the field and it's awesome. I was there a few minutes early, so I got to meet Jessie. All right, I am here with the owner of this Sniffspot. You want to say hi?
Hi, I'm Jessie. Welcome.
And look at this awesome place. It got a little floody from all the weather, but look at all this space. It's going to be so much fun. I got started while I waited for my friend Casey and her pups. Coop is going to be competing in disc in a couple weekends, so I've slowly been bringing up her conditioning as well as her tolerance for working in the summer weather. We've come in the morning before it gets truly hot, so I'm going to work her and give her lots of breaks and switch her out with my friend's other 2 dogs so there's time to work and a time to get water and rest. We've had historic rainfall in the last week in Connecticut, including yesterday, so it's definitely wet in the back part of the yard, which Jesse let me know about, but I opted to keep our reservation as it's good to practice working in all conditions so that your dog doesn't need sunny and 70 to be able to work. Plus, Whip found a nice puddle to chill in, and if you follow us on social media, you'll know that puddle and river sitting is one of her favorite things. And then our friends arrived. My friend Casey's here.
Hi.
And we're doing that whole training together thing because body doubling really works out. We headed to the backfield so that we could use the agility equipment. Besides equipment, Jessie even has a box of training stuff, including treats and first aid equipment in case you need it. I gave Whip a rest while Casey worked with her dogs. Casey was working on a few things. Here, Casey works on cue discrimination, which is asking Tig to take the jump in 2 different ways. Forward, wrapping the wing and coming back to Casey, and then going around the back of the jump and jumping towards Casey. She also worked on obstacle commitment, start line stays, and even showed me how to walk a dog without a leash. Just kidding, Tig just loves playing tug. I'm working on obstacle commitment for Frizzagility, which is an up-dog game that requires the dog to do 3 obstacles, typically a jump, tunnel, and jump, and then catch a disc. Up-dog is a super fun, beginner-friendly way to get into the sport of disc with your dog. And if you have a disc-loving dog, I highly recommend you check it out. I'll drop a link down below. And having a space with equipment ready that I can go practice in is amazing. After everybody had a turn, we had a walk around the property and some water to cool down, packed the tired dogs up, and headed out. So I'd say the dogs had a blast today, and having access to this kind of field and equipment without having to go to a training club is amazing. Thank you to both of my awesome Sniffspot hosts for sharing your backyards with us. And hey, if you like this video, the algorithm says that you'll like this one too, so be sure to click on it. You all have an awesome day and happy training. If you want to boop that like button, boopies.